Okay, here we're in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. We are almost on the beach. There's a little mega hotel, the Boardwalk Hotel. Don't know anything about it. There's the water. But right off it, we have this lovely little Queen Anne thing. This is the architectural style, I believe it's called Queen Anne, where you have all this fretwork, wooden fretwork, wraparound front porches. These are, if you Google them, if you look them up on Wiki, I've never gone to Canada to see them, they are incredibly common in Canada, also in Cleveland Park in DC. In DC, they're in Cleveland Park, which is where lots of the wealthiest people in DC live. Also lots of the mainstream media elite journalists like Nina Totenberg and Cokie Roberts, I think both live there. And Lena Wertmuller, or whatever her name is. All the girls with the German names who work at NPR. Odd tongue. Anyway, with Robert Schiller. He's gone back to Aspen to live with his boyfriend now. They live in a zip code that only has 6 black people in it. It's so funny. If you look at Bernie and Honey, all these words in Mississippi secret. They always live in a zip code that's about 5% black, 2% black. It's true of the Washington Post too. Of all the senior people. Even if they are black, they live in areas that are only 2% black, even though DC is 55% black. None of them live in any black neighborhoods in DC. It's also true of everyone at Media Matters for America and pretty much the entire pro-regressive movement, as I like to call them. Anyway, we're walking down a little side street of Rehoboth that I never spend any time on. Mainly because of that Queen Anne house. So Queen Anne house is very common in Canada, according to Wikipedia, but also in Cleveland Park. Cleveland Park being named because during the administration of President Cleveland, it was considered beyond the suburbs for DC, and people from downtown DC who lived like near where I live or near the White House would go out to their summer homes in what is now only 1 or 2 zip codes away. Go out to their summer homes. Oh, a little more Queen Anne action here. I don't think any of these, though, they're not real Queen Anne houses. They're unlike some houses in Rehoboth that were built in the 20s and 30s. These were all built in the 60s and 70s and 80s. Mainly to be rentals like this yellow thing that's obviously almost brand new. I'd take it, but it's not a true Queen Anne house. I almost have to apologize for this tape because I don't think it's that interesting. Because I don't think this street is that interesting. But we're going to carry on because we started with the Queen Anne house and we're just going to keep going. We'll find a more interesting neighborhood this afternoon, maybe. Here's some condo that looks like it was built when Dynasty was on TV with Tidewater. Looks like they've just repainted it. Wonder if that was expensive right now. Maybe it was built after 78 so they didn't have to deal with lead paint, which all the regulators now want you to hire special people who will do special things like wear masks and gloves when they get rid of your lead paint or anything in a house that's ever potentially could have had lead paint. It only adds a couple $1,000s to the cost of doing the simplest thing. That's going to create jobs. Anyway, here we are in Rehoboth, still. I have a friend whose grandparents have an internet libertarian friend, which, you know, is always a high percentage of anyone's libertarian friends. They're actually internet friends. You might read my comments. Anyway, eventually, oh, this is so pretty. I like the little red house. I like the colors here. Anyway, he used to spend time here because his grandparents owned a house. He would come here in the summer, so these tapes are in part for Brad. Anyway, so just to give me a little hobby while I'm hiding in Delaware from my allergies, which are now so bad here that I'm going back. Whatever other problems I may have. A store called Monograms. It'd be funny if all they did was sell monograms. You could almost do a British comedy about this. You have to bring things in and have them monogrammed. And they make you produce copious paperwork to show that it's really your initials and not for someone else. And they won't sell you anything, they only sell the monograms. That would be hilarious. I think we're going to go down the gay block again. And I might actually do a gay bookstore. Here's Jake's. For some reason, Jake's wants you to rock the purple. Is that political? Is Delaware a purple state? Hard to say. But Jake's open soon, as you can see. And they're hiring. If you are a waitress or waiter, they want you to come and help them dispense the food. And this little empty store used to be a market called Lingo's. Wow, has giant potted plants in it now. Oh yeah, it's already, well, I don't know. No, it's unclear what it's going to be. Anyway, Lingo's was here for years. It's where anybody in Rehoboth who wasn't eating out would come to. Oh, there's still groceries on the shelves. Look. They're moving down the street, but their groceries are still on the shelves. Lingo's is where you'd come to buy your tuna fish and bread and pretty much everything but alcohol. Here's all the cutesy she shops. They're in one of my other tapes, so I'm not really going to talk about them a lot. We're going to pause as I put down my coffee. This blue and yellow confection is the Blue Moon. It's a restaurant that has Northwest DC price levels, which must be something of a shock to the people from Baltimore and Pittsburgh who come to Delaware for vacations. Something of a shock to me too, because I'd gotten used to paying $40 for a large dinner, especially if, a duck breast was involved, or a reduction, or a glass of wine or something in DC. But when you come out to the country, you expect it to be cheaper. But not at the Blue Moon, which, as we can see, has been here for 30 years and has attached to it a bar called the Blue Moon that's a gay bar. It's a straight restaurant with a gay bar. Oh, there's someone peeping out of the bar. Anyway, their prices are DC or even almost New York level prices, and they get away with it because their food's really good. So here's another Muse. The shops at Rehoboth Muse. It's all devoted to like tchotchkes and pottery and jewelry and coffee, and sometimes you toss in a spa or a massage therapist. There are people actually out getting things together because they know it's getting warm. Anyway, we filmed this street way too much. So these people still have snowflakes hanging up. I don't know what that says about them. Oops. Yeah, there they are. They're a restaurant that everybody around here seems to like. They are cheaper than Blue Moon. I've gone there for lunch. I don't particularly care for them. Just because the food isn't that great. I mean, I could make it myself. But it's okay. And this is Universal Gear, which moved here from DC. Looks like they're getting ready. It's devoted to selling. It's kind of like Victoria's Secret for gay men. That's why there are nude mannequins in the window. They sell you expensive underwear that looks really good, especially if you've been hitting the gym a lot. And here's an art gallery with a motel above it.